Morning, everybody. I got even more toddler battle damage last night. He has sharp little fangs and claws. Anyway, it's almost time for 6 o'clock, which means coffee and breakfast. So I did my yoga because my lower back hurts pretty good. I'm probably from the kettlebell exercises, so I thought I'd give it a little bit of rest today and stretch it and make sure my knees become a weak point and try to build more knee strength as I lose weight, because if you have bad knees, chances are you have extra pounds. So that's my goal here. But yeah, I did my meditation and woke up at 4:45. Well, the wife woke me up. 4:45, so the alarm didn't wake up the little one, and he's still sleeping, so that's good. So I had a miracle morning finally. So yeah, I'm just gonna have breakfast, go to the office, read, visualize, and scribe, and then of course everything else that comes along with being a real estate agent. So that's the day's plan. It's Wednesday. I got my email today, so I'll do that first thing after my office morning miracle, which is what I just mentioned, and then doing my email, and then the rest of the day is for me to really get ahead of everything I've kind of put off. So that's my plan for today.
So the second ingredient, the secret ingredient, or the second condition to success or true success is confidence. Confidence that we can attain that goal or whatever goal you have. And let me explain a little bit. It's not the same confidence as having experience of having done something, so you know you're going to be good at it, and you're like, oh yeah, this is pretty run-of-the-mill for me, right? This is the type of confidence that William James, he was a philosopher 100 years ago who studied champions of his day in all various types of sports, and he looked for what kind of commonality they share that makes a champion a champion. William James, he said, whenever a champion looks into his past, he will always see that there's insufficient evidence that he will succeed in breaking that world record or climbing that new mountain. But they don't care about what's happened in their past. They have faith that they will succeed in the future without necessarily having the evidence already in place to know that they can achieve something. And that's because the evidence of the past is always insufficient to prove success in the future. Just think about it, right? So how do you convince yourself that you can succeed at something? Oh, just as an aside, so Tom Morris does include his little own self-hack on confidence, and he says before he gives any speech, he will stand in front of a mirror, look himself in the eye, stand up straight and say, "This is going to be so great, I can't believe it." And with a dumb little grin too. And if that doesn't work the first time, he'll do it again. Now, Tom Morris defends this practice because he says a lot of people think it's hokey. It's that they're above such silly nonsense as talking to yourself in the mirror. But then he quotes Aristotle, and Aristotle says the smartest people in the world know how everything could go wrong. And they're the ones who need to marshal their energy and their focus in a positive direction. So the last point of this is Tom Morris says, please give yourself the gift of inner cheerleading. And that's only the first confidence you need. That's what then Tom Morris describes as initial confidence. So this pre-cursive faith will be now coined as initial confidence. Something comes after initial confidence, and that is what Tom calls resilient confidence. And that is after you've taken a few licks, you've been knocked around a bit, and now you're wondering, can I really succeed? How can I keep going? And that's what Tom Morris now calls resilient confidence. So he was saying how he was doing a shoot for Disney, a Disney commercial, and they were telling him, smile with your eyes. And he's like, how do you smile with your eyes? So he would at first he tried, and then 36 takes later, how do you keep going, right? How do you say, I'm going to succeed at this? I'm going to smile with my eyes. And after every take, he wouldn't say, oh my God, this is so bad, I can never do it. Oh, I'm not an actor, I'm not cut out for this. No, he said, he would after the take, he would say, "What an actor!" So, in a sense, he would every time he failed, he would reaffirm himself that he is and he can be what he's setting out to do. So that's the whole point of a lot of successful people, is they've taken their licks, they've lost a lot of money, they've failed constantly. They just downplay it, whenever they get interviewed, because they don't want to come across as failures. But it's an important step to get to success, because first of all, it's a teacher, and then second of all, it builds resilience, right? And how do you build resilience? By telling yourself you're going to be good at this, you're going to be great. Just keep doing it, right? And those are our two types of confidence. And the third, of course, is once you've done it, a couple of times, you're going to feel better, and then you're going to have the air of confidence. Oh, this is what it was made for, right? So, but in order to get to that step, there are those two most important ones, and that's getting to the point in the first place of having experience. Because otherwise, you're just going to give up, and then boom, you'll never have that, true confidence of, I've done this before. Okay, so just to sum it up again, first you need pre-cursive faith. And that is that you can build that from positive self-talk. So whatever you're doing, you don't get into your own head, oh, I've never done this before, it's so hard. It's like, this is why I went to school. This is why I've studied so hard. Or, this is why I'm trying so hard. Or, you're telling yourself, this is going to be awesome. This is going to be great. I can't wait to talk to all these people in front of me. They're going to love what I say, right? Positive self-talk. And again, with the visualization, exact same thing. You visualize yourself doing something you probably don't like, but you visualize you doing it in a positive framework, right? So again, miracle morning. Close your eyes, visualize your goal, and then visualize yourself doing those daily activities, or that activity if you're trying to break a world record or something. Like they were saying, Tiger Woods, like he visualized every time he hit that ball. He would visualize his swing, where his golf club was going, and how the ball was flying. And that's how he, had that initial confidence of hitting the ball, right? It's like, oh, it's going to go right there. It's going to be a birdie. I'm going to get, or a hole in one, whatever have you, right? That's just because you've never done it before doesn't mean you should hold yourself back. Okay, and the second part is once you don't succeed, you've gotten knocked in your butt a few times. You fall off that horse. What do we do, Mr. Wayne? We get back on the horse, right? So that comes from the resilience of saying, what an actor, or what a real estate agent, or wow, I did my best, and all I need to do is change this one thing. I've learned just enough, I think, to succeed the second time. So let's do it again, right? And that's the resilience. So confidence, you're going to do it the first time. Confidence, if you fail, you're going to keep doing it, right? Otherwise, you're going to tap out. So that's it. So that was our second condition for success. So as you can see, there's a lot of similarities that you can glean from both ancient wisdoms, as Tom Morris is pulling from, and from our Miracle Morning and other motivational talkers like or speakers, talkers, like Tony Robbins. There's a lot of ways that it's just human nature and just how our mind works. And getting over our mediocrity and our rearview mirror syndrome is, it takes a shift in mindset, and that's why we're doing affirmations, and that's why I believe that I put in the vlog about how Tony Robbins would say, I'm fucking unstoppable, I'm fucking unstoppable, while he was running. So he has the energy coming, he's got the emotions, he's got the sweat. So there's a lot more physiology that goes into it than just waking up every morning and saying that. So I would highly suggest doing that, because that is those affirmations that you're building your confidence, right? And that drive and the resilience. I'm unstoppable, I'm unstoppable, I'm unstoppable, right? So hopefully with that, you learned a little bit, and write it into your journal. Again, this is a great exercise to start filling some of those empty spots, empty lines that you have, and think about, write yourself a little thing. What are you confident about, or how can you build confidence? Something you've never done before, even if it's something small, right? Let's say you can only do 10 push-ups. Well, can you do 12? right? Start with something small, experiment with it a little bit. And then as you see that it works, try it out in some bigger scenarios and other parts of your life. Okay, I'm going to do the rest of my miracle morning here in the afternoon, I guess. I'm going to do some reading real quick. I still have some other stuff to do for open house, so let's bang out that reading real quick, and then I'll do some other things, and then get myself ready, and then go home and spend some time with the family and go for a walk and enjoy life a little bit, because if we don't enjoy every day and we look just forward to retirement, then you're going to live a miserable life and then realize that retirement isn't as great as you thought it was, even though you get to sit on the beach for the rest of your life. And 2 weeks later, you're like, oh, this is incredibly boring. I worked so hard for this. So I implore you, please, every day, live it like you really want to. Don't just pray and hope that in 40 years that you're going to finally start living life the way you want. Okay, that's it. 7 minutes, and I'm out of here. Catch you later.